What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. And today is a special video. It's a Chocobo medley, but they're all from a variation of Final Fantasy XIII. I don't know what the hell's happening in 13 that has so many Chocobo songs. But, okay, we're starting with Pulse de Chocobo from Masashi Hamazu. Followed by Cocoon de Chocobo, Finding Our Dreams from Dark Kyle 99. Into 13.2, Crazy Chocobo with 1.5 million views. And finally, Lightning Returns, Bluesy Chocobo from the channel Nuamasu. What the heck is going on? Requested by a handful of people: Pookster Prime, Antares91, Justin, and Matt. Thank you. So, okay. First, two things before I get started. One, what is your favorite Chocobo song? For me, I think it's probably FF9. That one's really, really good because of the minigame it came with. Also, the last time I heard Final Fantasy XIII, I heard one of the best songs on the channel with Full Speed Ahead, which, cheap plug, I did a guitar cover for. Okay. 13. Okay. 4 Chocobo songs. Starting with Pulse de Chocobo, Hamazu. I don't know if I've heard a Chocobo song that's not Nuamasu so far. Maybe. Holy bass. Take on the melody. Well, this came out a long time ago, but this must have sounded so unique at the time. Does every game have a Chocobo theme? I never thought about that. Does 12 and I think 11 for sure has to be, right? 14 does. I could probably do a whole video on like 1 through whatever. Does 16 have one? Honestly, the bass is kind of killing you right here. This works. This works for the Chocobo theme. So they got most of the melody, but removed some of the notes to let it breathe a little bit. That's pretty cool. Dude, by the way, 13's sound is really good. And the composer's in it. Drum break? Fun fact, this is how breakdancing started, right here. The drum break. So they would dance to the break. This is exactly a perfect demonstration. The DJs would just extend this part of the record so the dance floor would go crazy, and then people just naturally got down to it. There's your hip-hop lesson for the day in a Final Fantasy XIII Chocobo video. Welcome to the Auditorium. Wow, this is already a great start, actually. Added its own little melody. Dun, 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 dun. 2 breaks in one song. Hand percussion and everything. I'm gonna keep it brief because I'm thoroughly impressed by that. I have played a few Final Fantasies now. A couple years ago, I never even touched the damn games, and now I've played Crisis Core 7, 8, 9, Remake and Rebirth. I can't remember at this exact moment if 8 had any. I think they did, but I don't think they did. I know 7 did. I know 9 did. I can't remember 8 at the moment. Anyways, disregarding that, I feel like this was kind of the basis for the themes that Rebirth has. Rebirth has, without spoiling it, there's chocobos, right? But they do a lot with chocobos in that game. Just different uses of the theme. And they're kind of reminiscent of this one. I'm not sure if Hamazu was part of Rebirth. I'm pretty sure he was to some capacity. I know he was in Remake, so probably he's in Rebirth. I just love how they take this, on paper, a silly song. It's almost like a comic relief, but it's still a really good melody. Regardless, if you it's one of those things where if you just take away all the things it's associated with, which is this giant chicken, flamingo, horse thing, dinosaur, however you describe a chocobo. At the end of the day, if you just take the dun 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 dun, that part was removed. The little trill dun 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 in this one. It's a good melody. It's an amazing melody, and it would do very well in even like the classical era. So I don't know. I think it's to me. I saw it as a silly. I mean, yeah, it's silly, but it's kind of one of those reasons why people take Final Fantasy so seriously, and that's why it has its own concert series. Is because it can do the funny, it can do the serious, it can do the sad, it can do the intense. It's just all over the damn place. So let's just keep going. We have 3 more, and damn, what the hell is? If I had to assume all of these play, from my understanding, you only hear these when you're physically riding a chocobo. So if I had to guess, in 13, you ride chocobos, but there's multiple different ones, just like how there's in 7 and 9. I really can't remember if there's I'm going to look up if there's chocobos in 8 because I can't remember. This one is Cocoon to Chocobo. I don't know who composed this one. But okay. Cocoon to Chocobo. I can hear the melody already starting to form. Yeah, I knew it was going to come in right there. It just felt like it was going to come in. This sounds like a mini game. This one sounds really like... It sounds like the Gold Sausage. Yes, there are chocobos in Final Fantasy VIII. I just saw it. I do remember, though, I didn't partake in the, like, finding them in that game. I mean, it hits hard. I believe this is the main character, yeah? Lightning? She looks cool. Just correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not her. Wait, if that is her... How many main protagonists in Final Fantasy have been a woman? I can't believe I'm hearing auto-tune in the auditorium, but here we are. Oh my god. This sounds like those commercials for ringtones they used to have. Like a frog. English? Oh, that snuck up on me. We will have fun? That was so strange. That sounded to me quite literally the vibe of sort of it's not a spoiler, I guess, if you played FF7, but in Rebirth, if you don't want to know anything about Rebirth, you should stop listening now, but it's kind of, I feel like, common knowledge. But you go to the Gold Saucer. It's like a big ordeal, right? And they basically turned it into Disneyland. It's just big ass theme park, and there's Chocobo racing, which is really well done, by the way. Like, Rebirth handled Chocobo racing so well. It's like its own mini game. It could almost be its own video game. I'm not even exaggerating. The stages, the power ups, the mechanics. It's pretty damn good. And there's a bunch of Chocobo remixes because of all these like levels. And considering it's in the Gold Saucer, I feel like this would fit right in there. I feel like I've heard this before because of that. I haven't, but maybe. Unless Rebirth used this. Actually, that's not totally impossible. I should look into that. Because there's a lot. I feel like Rebirth used at least like 10 different Chocobo songs. But to me, this exactly sounded like that kind of vibe of like theme park and attraction and just this one sounded more like the real spirit of Chocobo songs. I don't know if that makes any sense, but okay, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. I wasn't expecting the vocals whatsoever. I think that's the first time that there's autotune in a song that I hear on the channel, I think. Which is strange because autotune wasn't. Oh no, it was used back then, not as much as now. But this to me sounds like those are ringtones. Once upon a time, kids, we used to have flip phones, which are now back in style, and they look stupid, by the way. I'm sorry, I hate that trend. It looks so dumb. If you have one of those phones that it's just like they meant to flip and the screen is like, no, sorry. Anyways, I used to buy ringtones, and there was really annoying commercials with sound effects that sounded just like that. This wasn't annoying though, but it had that same style of vocal. And we're just gonna move on. I don't know how much 13.2 I've heard before. I haven't really heard much of 13 period, like at all. It's been very little across all of the games. Also, I just realized, is 13 the only one that has 3 games? Well, I guess if you want to count FF7. But yeah, right? 13, 13.2, and Lightning Returns. Is there any other base game that has something like that? I think there's 2 versions of 15, right? Or like a DLC. But I don't know if that counts. I'm talking like full-on games. Yeah, so 13 might be a kind of an anomaly. Anyways, let's continue. This is Crazy Chocobo. 1 million views on a Chocobo song. Let's go.
Gas him up with the greens and let him go. Stand back, stand clear as he puts on the show. So cute yet fierce and safe from hell. Can't tell yet I don't even wanna know. So you wanna be a trailblazer, kicking dirt like a hell raiser. Take the reins but don't react slow. It's time to feel the force of the Chocobo. So you think you can ride this Chocobo? Got Choco, watch him and I put him on this Chocobo. Settle up if you think you can ride in this rodeo. Are we in hell? I don't know to the dark control. If you think you're gonna hide this Chocobo, everybody's gonna wanna ride your Chocobo. It's Choco local style in the Choco Rodeo. Ride him straight through hell in the Chocobo Rodeo. Let's ride.
The melody's so happy that it can't even sound brutal. It just sounds happy no matter what.
Gas him up with the greens and let him go. Stand back, stand clear as he puts on the show. So cute yet fierce and safe from hell.
Damn, the double bass.
I don't even wanna know. So you wanna be a trailblazer, kicking dirt like a hell raiser. Take the reins but don't react slow. It's time to feel the force of the Chocobo. So you think you can ride this Chocobo? Got Choco, watch him and I put him on this Chocobo. Settle up if you think you can ride in this rodeo.
Saddle up if you think you can ride.
Everybody's gonna wanna ride your Chocobo. It's Choco local style in the Choco Rodeo. Ride 'em straight through hell in the Chocobo Rodeo.
The fact that it turns into an Anthrax song. What the fuck? Okay. Stop. Also, the fact that we're going to a blues one after this. Okay. What I said earlier about Rebirth might actually have come to fruition. Please answer this question. Does this appear in Rebirth? Did Rebirth use old songs? I feel like this is in there. Or something is very similar. I didn't want to spoil it, but in Rebirth there is a very, very reminiscent metal song to this. That's Chocobo sounding. I don't know if it's this one. It sounded pretty close. And it kind of makes sense to reuse old songs, especially for like a mini game. But that was the first time I hear it like properly in full, if that's the same one. I don't know. It sounded different though. I don't know. Either way, I'm just imagining being the age, the demographic of hearing this, playing the game, and then this just burst through the door. This must have caught people off. Okay, here's the thing. When you're playing this and this appears, does it come off as a jump scare, or is it sort of leaning into this aesthetic, you know? Like before you hear it, do you enter this black building with chains or something, you know what I mean? Or does it just come out of nowhere? What is happening in 13 that's causing all these things to happen? Well, I can see what's called Crazy Chocobo. Also, damn, dude. Who wrote that? Who's the band? Was Nobuo behind that? I know it's Nobuo's composition, but who arranged that version? I don't see it here. That had a very distinct sound to me, which is like 80s thrash metal, right? Like Anthrax, Testament, stuff like that. But also the vocals kind of had a little bit of like shooty HG from Devil May Cry. That was just bizarre. Great though. These are all fun. I'm having fun. This is cool. But why 13? Okay. Anyways, the last one. Lightning Return. Dude, I don't remember the last time I did Lightning Returns. I think the first time I ever heard 13 was Lightning Returns. I could be wrong about that. If I recall correctly, it might have been Almighty Buenavelza. I'll look that up in a second. I have another tab. Let's check it out right now, actually. Okay, but this is Bluesy Chocobo. Now, I am quite interested in this. I love blues music, but if it's blues like how I think it is, then It's quite something to follow the last one. Bluesy Chocobo. All right. This is Nuamasu. Oh, and it's Naoshi Mizuta, one of my favorite Final Fantasy composers. I don't know about blues, but it sounds southern. I'm just a fan of the stand-up bass here. The first time I hit a 13 was Saber's Edge, 2021. And then Almighty Buniveza was Lightning Returns. This is good. This is good. The flutes are a good addition. It's more like jazzy Chocobo than bluesy. Yeah, blues is more like a shuffle and more emotional, but whatever. They're all good. I like all of them, and I'm not going to choose a favorite. They're all good, actually. See, yeah, so for me it's jazzy because like the whole essence of jazz is like improvisation, and that's what it sounds like. It sounds like people are just jamming and improvising. You know who this sounds like? You know the band Jamiroquai? It sounds like Jamiroquai. Just imagine a big fluffy hat, top hat. Yeah, what does he do? He's like... Oh, I love flute solos, dude. You ever hear them? Did Naoshi Mizuta arrange this? Because damn. I like how all four of them were like super distinct. This is perfect music to just have like in the background. You know what it sounds like actually? It sounds like saloon style jazz. Smoking out of a pipe. Drinking a Jack Daniels. Playing some darts maybe. That was really fun. I was actually, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kind of knew what to expect, and not at the same time. Because Chocobo's theme is a Chocobo theme, dun, da, 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 you know. But I'm amazed just how much they've been able to remix that throughout the series. And now I have a legit question: is that song in the entire series? Um, yeah, because I've seen 16, but I don't know if there's Chocobos in 16. And if there is, I'd be very curious because 16 is like dark. So I'd be really curious if there's like a dark Chocobo theme. If so, then that would join the pile of consistent stuff, right? Like Cactuars, Moogles, stuff that appears in, well, let's say most games. The main theme, I'm pretty sure, is in every game. The prelude. What else? Something else I'm missing. Chocobos. But I know one of them, one of the ones I just mentioned, one of them was introduced in, I think, FF2 or 3. So it wasn't there from the very beginning, but just about. Anyways, those are all really good. I mean, what was the first one? Pulse? Oh yeah, this one, they all sounded good though. Like they all had their own little like swing to them. I really enjoyed the first one. Hamzu, big fan of him. I don't know if I've heard Chocobo music from him before, maybe. Cocoon to Chocobo. Strange. Autotune. Crazy Chocobo was indeed crazy. And a lot of questions about. You know, one more thing about Crazy Chocobo. I can almost guarantee that that song introduced people all around the world to heavy metal music. There's probably people right now that are like into metal because of that. That's a thought. And then this last one was just that was just amazing, honestly. Just the way it was all free form and it was just kind of like a lounge. That's another way to put it. Somewhere between like a saloon and a lounge for that one. I don't know about blues though. Awesome. They're all good. I probably still have more Chocobo songs, but this was a 13 medley, which somehow became a thing. So cool. Thanks to the requesters. Which one was your favorite from these, and which one is your favorite Chocobo theme? I don't know now. I still like 9 because of that whole Hawaiian sound, but these were pretty damn good. All right. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the Auditorium. Later.